Welcome to the White Knight Theater. Dr. Lee, hello. It's a pity that we're meeting under these circumstances. I don't know what's going on. So you want OJ to turn himself in to the LAPD voluntarily. That's the best way to handle it. OJ's defense is very strong. He has everything most people envy in his life. Why would he risk it all by committing murder? But another possibility slowly emerges. What if it was a crime of passion? Would OJ Simpson have become jealous of the young waiter and lost control? What are the prosecutors planning right now? Produced by Himalaya, the 5th episode of the Chinese-American detective Dr. Lee's crime drama. Why did the superstar become a fugitive? As the news of the LAPD obtaining an arrest warrant for OJ Simpson spread, Attorney Shapiro could no longer contain his anxiety. He understood Simpson's demand. He could not be handcuffed in public again. On the morning of June 17th, Shapiro finally contacted Detective Tom Lang, one of the key investigators in the case. How long have we known each other? Since you first transferred to the LAPD, I've been dealing with you. You helped a lot in that case where the police illegally collected confessions back then. All right, Shapiro, I'm doing you a favor. Otherwise, with the arrest warrant I already have for OG, I wouldn't need to come to you. I know you have the arrest warrant for OG, but there's no need for you to come and arrest him personally. It won't do anyone any good. It'll just give the media another headline. My client is accused of a double murder, and the situation is special. It's 8:30 a.m. now. I'll bring him over at noon. How about that? Not waking up? It will take you 3.5 hours to drive him to Los Angeles. I need some time to persuade him to cooperate. All right, let's leave some room. It's better for both of us. No problem. I'll bring him to you by 11 a.m. I promise I'll do my best. Tom, it's time. The police had already drawn their bows, with arrows on the string, ready to act. On the same day, 96 hours after Nicole Goldman was killed, Dr. Lee Chong-yu met O.J. Simpson for the first time at Robert Kardashian's house and witnessed Simpson's rage over the polygraph results. It seems the polygraph results were not ideal. O.J.'s character also seems quite volatile. Do you think it's possible he acted out of impulse? Sham, do you want to see the garden of this house? Dr. Lee interrupted Sam's speculation and pulled him to a window away from the second-floor staircase. Opening the window, they saw a beautiful courtyard with neatly trimmed greenery decorating the pathways and corners. A white Mustang was parked in the yard. We should also pay more attention to Shapiro's reaction. As OJ's defense attorney, they have attorney-client privilege. The government can't use its power to obtain details of their conversations. Even if OJ admitted something, the attorney can't disclose it in court. Their conversations can be unrestricted. So, what's your observation? Dr. Lee, what do you think? Without anyone noticing, Shapiro had returned to the first floor. The man, who had been neatly dressed just moments ago, was now irritably loosening his tie, and the atmosphere in the room had become tense. After meeting with Dr. Lee, Shapiro pointed mysteriously to the corner study. Sorry to leave you alone for a bit, he said. It's fine. I can make my own observations. OJ, the test result just came back at -22. It can't get any lower. Nick's death has really affected OJ. He's always been all about saving face, and now he's the target of everyone's criticism. With the media's overwhelming coverage, he's extremely nervous, which affected his test results. I don't need to know this. Let's drop it. I understand. But now the biggest problem is here. Shapiro was restless, constantly checking his watch. At this point, there was only 1 hour left before Shapiro's agreed upon 11 a.m. to bring OJ to turn himself in. Now, OJ Simpson was hiding alone in a room on the second floor, refusing any disturbance. Does this situation need Dr. Lee's intervention? Let me ask you something first. What's the relationship between Goldman and Nicole? I've seen many media reports saying they were dating. Does OJ have the emotional motive? They didn't even know each other. In fact, when Nicole was dining at the restaurant that night, Goldman wasn't her waiter. According to other waiters at the restaurant, Goldman could have avoided the tragedy that night. The restaurant owner sent him to deliver the glasses to Nicole's house, and he canceled his original date with his girlfriend. These media outlets will say anything to attract attention. The idea of a crime of passion is just speculation. OJ had no motive to kill them. But what if OJ misunderstood something? No way. OJ's girlfriend is here now, and she's been with him since the incident. Their relationship is stable. Even before OJ divorced Nicole, Goldman had been caught in bed with someone else, and OJ didn't react violently. How could he do that after such a long time? Suddenly, there was a commotion outside the door, followed by clear footsteps in the hallway. Shapiro nervously stood up, walked a few steps towards the door, and reached for the handle. The door was opened from the outside by Robert Kardashian. I thought it was the police. Something's wrong. You guys need to come watch TV. No one expected that the person standing under the spotlight on the TV screen was Detective Tom Lang, the same person Shapiro had been talking to on the phone. Facing the public, Tom Lang's attitude was completely different from what he had said on the phone. Good morning. The LAPD has obtained a warrant for the arrest of Ronald Lyle Goldman and Nicole Brown. We were informed that Mr. Simpson and his attorney had agreed to report to the LAPD at 10 a.m. this morning. However, as of now, Mr. Simpson has not shown up. The LAPD now declares that we have been played. Kardashian, go upstairs and check on OJ. He might have seen the TV news. Try to calm him down first. We need to have an urgent meeting. I'll be right there. I'll call someone I know at the police department first and try to buy us some more time. The police are already on their way. Before they arrive, we need to synchronize all the information and plan our next steps. I've already asked Sam to gather everyone in the conference room. Okay, you're right. Should we call OJ in? No. OJ is in no condition to deal with the current situation. Let's handle it among ourselves. I've already sent Kardashian upstairs to check on him. AC Collins is also upstairs. He'll be fine with him. He's OJ's good buddy. AC is also a former football player, but his career didn't go well. After they both retired, OJ took him on, and he usually helped with driving or some assistant work. In short, they grew up together and have known each other for decades. With him around, OJ won't have any problems. The meeting had just begun, and the defense team members hadn't had time to synchronize all the messages when Robert Kardashian stormed in, furious. The situation became even more chaotic. OJ is very upset. He sent me to ask what the police meant by turning himself in. OJ is aware of this. I've done everything I can. This morning, the Major Crimes Unit informed me first thing that they had obtained the arrest warrant. I used my connections and reputation to persuade them not to make a big deal out of the arrest and to avoid further negative publicity. It would have turned into a circus. So you want OJ to turn himself in to the LAPD voluntarily. This is the best way to handle it. They must have some evidence and believe it's enough to prosecute OJ, otherwise they wouldn't take the risk. OJ is in real danger now. The speaker was one of the key members of the defense team, law professor Lori Ullman. With a commanding presence, Ullman took over from Shapiro. Ullman, already in his 60s, had once been a prosecutor. Since the jurisdiction of the Simpson case belonged to the California courts, applying California law and judicial precedents, and Ullman being the dean of a UC law school, Shapiro invited him to provide theoretical support for the defense from the very beginning. Ullman also had a well-known nickname, the Cobra, because he had white hair and a kind face that made opponents unconsciously let their guard down in court. But when the time came, he would seize the mistake and strike suddenly. Professor Ullman's inference was not pessimistic. From the perspective of the U.S. arrest warrant procedure, O.J. Simpson might have already lost the best option of turning himself in. In the U.S., an arrest warrant is issued by a judge. To obtain an arrest warrant, the police need to submit a draft affidavit containing a probable cause for the crime, providing facts to establish every element of each offense listed in the warrant to show that the person named is the suspect. The judge, upon receiving the affidavit and the draft warrant, can have the submitter swear an oath and require additional facts until convinced that the requirements for the warrant have been met. The judge signs the warrant, and it becomes effective. The police likely initiated a special procedure, considering OJ a suspect posing a significant threat to society. Therefore, we can't bail him out. He'll stay in jail until the verdict. Damn it, Tom Lane, what's going on? I promised to calm him down by 11. Do we know what evidence the prosecution has? Maybe blood samples? A few days ago, After OJ went to the LAPD for questioning, he left his blood sample. What? Without me, his private lawyer, OG gave the police a blood sample? Shit, what do we do now? We don't even know what happened that day. Dr. Lee, what do you think? Immediately contact the LAPD crime lab and the medical examiner's office to arrange a time. We need to review the evidence and visit the crime scene as soon as possible. Dr. Lee Chong-yu will lead the identification of all forensic evidence in this case. I'll call the person in charge of the case first to buy some more time. We need to complete all necessary preparations before the police arrive. A psychiatrist will also come later. Why do we need a psychiatrist? We need to be prepared for everything, just in case we have to use insanity as a defense. What do you mean? Are we admitting guilt? OG won't accept that. It's just a precaution. As Attorney Shapiro urgently arranged the next steps, trying to further delay time, the sound of sirens grew closer. They were already here. I need you to tell him. If he has anything else to tell us, now is the last chance. Hurry, everything will be monitored. The last opportunity, the last moment. Dr. Lee, I need you to come with me to identify the police. Dr. Lee Chong-yu immediately understood Shapiro's intention. Shapiro wanted to use Dr. Lee's reputation to hold the police and buy more time for Robert. No, Shapiro, listen to me. Although I'm in plain clothes, I'm still on the police payroll. Everyone stand still. Mr. Scare Me. All right, this is the arrest warrant for a rental James Simpson. I know OJ is upstairs and will come down right away. Rest assured, we will fully cooperate with the police. We also have a public servant here. Dr. Lee Chong-yu currently serves in Connecticut. You might have heard of him. Shapiro ushered the 4 detectives into the house. One of the detectives greeted Dr. Lee Chong-yu. Isn't this you here? He was a student at the University of New Haven in Connecticut and had taken a semester-long course on crime scene investigation taught by Dr. Lee years ago. Meeting a former student in this situation, Dr. Lee just nodded slightly. Business comes first. Where is Mr. Simpson? He's coming down. He's just finishing up a few things. Please wait a moment. Do you know Chief Williams? I'm his good friend. I don't know him. We just want Mr. Simpson. As Shapiro tried to say something more to delay time, Kardashian walked over, looking bewildered. What does this mean? He's not in the room. All we found in the room were these letters. He also took the gun. Before Kardashian finished speaking, everyone in the room rushed into the room together. Ultimately, in a half-open door in the first-floor bedroom, and with one sentence from Dr. Lee, it was confirmed that O.J. Simpson had most likely already left the temporary residence. The Mustang in the backyard was gone. The detectives hurriedly reported this sudden situation to headquarters and asked everyone present to stay and wait for further police questioning. At present, the letters left by Simpson seemed to be the only clue. What did the letters say? Take care of the 2 children and the arrangements for OJ's several properties. What? Is OJ planning to commit suicide?